How's it going, trainers? I took one of my favorite Pokemon Pocket Brews, Arcanine Exeggutor, into some tournament rounds, and I've got some highlights for you today. This deck list is a ton of fun and a really neat mashup of aggressive elements. Exeggutor absolutely loves going first and can start chunking out 80 points of damage on your second turn of the game. And similarly, Moltres into Arcanine absolutely loves going second, getting that energy pumped up onto our big 120 point stage 1 attacker as soon as possible. Exeggutor only needs a single grass energy to attack. Moltres can attack with 2 colorless, and even Arcanine can work with a singleton grass working towards its attack. So there's some forgiving nature even when the energy variance doesn't work out for you. The tournament games that I have for you today do an excellent job of showcasing us playing into meta decks like Pikachu, as well as other things like Blaine and Venusaur. I think this deck list is a lot of play to it when your energies don't line up perfectly. You still have a lot of room to maneuver, as these games will show. At any rate, if you enjoy this more focused tournament gameplay, I'd love to hear about it in the comments down below. And don't forget to leave a like as well. For the rest of the day, enjoy. All right, for our first round, we are playing into exactly what our Exeggutor deck does not want to see, which is Blaine. That being said, we do have, 2 typings in our deck. There is no red card to play around here, so I don't need to put this out. A fast Arcanine start is exactly what we're looking for. I think one of the strengths of this deck is the fact that we have 3 different weaknesses on the Pokemon that we're playing. So I think while we can have more challenging matchups like this if we hit the wrong lead Pokemon, in general, when we have options like this, and we often will with 6 basics, we have some flexibility here. We even hit that key fire energy to start here. If we can fish up a Growlithe here, we're going to be in a good spot. I'm going to lead on Professor's Research here because I just want the most chances to find basics. So the basic Growlithe is the only thing that matters here. And there we go. Get our deck nice and thinned up here. Alright, well, with all of these set and ready to go, I think I'm just going to go ahead and play everything out here. And we'll hit the Inferno Dance and see where we go from here, huh? At least get that. Part of me almost wants to put it on the other Moltres here, since I have a grass energy on top. Oh, that's interesting. They're charging up the Vulpix in the back. They must not have Rapidash. Opponent is notably not playing a 5th basic. They're all in on Vulpix and they're all in on Vulpix and Rapidash. I'm gonna go ahead and put an energy up here on Moltres so that way we can threaten to get the first knockout on the Ponyta next turn. Quite strong. 4 energies off of 2 Moltres activations. Definitely batting above average there. Worth noting that Ninetales only kicks up to a total of 120 with a Blaine, so cannot one-hit KO anything on my side of the board. Even Exeggutor EX lives that, taking 140 with weakness. There's kind of the appeal of this deck. Our deck is all in on our EXs, so opponent has to knock out 2 high hit point EXs. Then we have potions and X speeds to shuffle around here on the board. So they could X speed and crack my Moltres, but that really doesn't end well for them. Notable that Moltres and Arcanine both attack with some colorless energy in the mix, which is part of part of why this deck works as a 2-color deck. And I think we're just done at this point, with us having first energy advantage and then hitting solidly on the Moltres EX heads here. Like, they can, even if they crack Moltres for 120 here with a Blaine, we switch out to the Arcanine and one hit clear their Ninetales, and then I have another Moltres ready to go in the background too, even if they should be able to interface with our Arcanine. I think they could stack both decks from this position and not be able to win with our board setup. All this does is it marks damage on the Moltres that doesn't have energy on it, so it doesn't really accomplish anything. I think they're just trying to see if I make a mistake. It's wrong to evolve that, actually, because it could get locked in, but I have enough basics that it shouldn't matter, I don't think. Just get this switched up. We'll take our knockout, we'll be on our way. They have 90 and 100 hit point Pokemon. Inferno Rush is clearing everything out here. So, really good start and draw for us. The opponent's setup wasn't bad by any means, but it wasn't nearly as strong as ours. Energy advantage again, hoping for Moltres. That is a Growlithe and a Grass Energy. Definitely not what we're looking for on a start. That being said, we have an X speed, so if we find a Moltres off the top, we could be okay. And we find an Execute off the top. We might put the energy on it with the Exeggutor in hand. Just let Growlithe take a hit to start. It's not the droid or the energy we are looking for here. If this was fire, we could be in an okay spot maybe, because Arcanine attacks with one colorless, but 2 grass in a row is a tough beat. Alright, and then I'm actually going to put the second grass energy on Arcanine here, I think. Because if they have Sabrina, they're going to clear my egg anyways, which means I don't need to get it going. And if they don't have Sabrina, I'm going to want energy on the Arcanine to retreat with. Like, if they go Evolve, practice with the Ninetales, we'll go Grass Energy on the Execute, Evolve to Exeggutor, X Speed back, and then Giovanni, and hopefully can clear them in one. So we're looking to dodge Sabrina here. They have 2 of those. Does that matter? 50 versus 60 is about the same here, I think. Alright, this is going to be a big heads on our Exeggutor not here. The 4th grass energy in a row is not the droid we're looking for here. Yeah, if we spike the 50% with this Giovanni, we clear the Ninetales, then we're in an alright spot. Not out of the woods, but alright. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. Rapidash to 60. Blaine lets them do 90. I have an Erica to heal 50. So this Exeggutor is going to get to buy us a few turns here. And it's going to get to stack some damage while it does it. We burned one of their 2 Giovannis. I guess a noteworthy breakpoint is that Blaine plus Giovanni is enough to clear my thing. That is a Sabrina. So they can't clear this turn because Sabrina's their supporter. So I'm going to go ahead and let them crack this down to 10, and then we're going to bail it out here. Research is a solid hit, and there's finally a fire energy on top of our deck. Or top of our energy zone, I should say. Olive or Moltres. Two to retreat here, unfortunately. I think I want to get this down. Just so we can get it evolved next turn if we draw it. That's a miss on that, but there's no potions in their deck, so we'll have a chance to clear them next turn if we hit heads again. I like your notebook, yeah. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Ah!
No, you
gotta sing it. I will sing with you when I am all done working, okay?
Okay, but we got to use this so we remember.
That's a good idea.
This is the song for my brother's school, night 25, and then for my school. So I gotta bring this to my school so I can show my friend, so I can sing it to my friends.
Perfect, Albert.
And when I go home, I'll bring this back home, okay?
Perfect.
Because I'm gonna sing the song on pajama night.
Fun. So, Dan needs to talk for his work for just a second, okay, baby girl? So, we're in a pretty good spot here. We are at 150, which means even if they had Ninetales plus Blaine, it would only be 140, which doesn't clear us in one. Yep, and here's the X speed.
That's the end of
I think we're just done at this point. Because even, they have no potions, and we have 2 knockout points, so even if they... I suppose they can clear this Exeggutor with this in the back, and then maybe they have a shot with the Moltres.
let it go, let it go. Sweet seed.
I'm sure many toddler parents are all about letting it go.
Let it go.
Haley girl, it is okay if you want to ride the bike, but you should be quiet for just a minute, okay? So they retreat back to the Ninetales from here. And then they're out of energy on the Ninetales is noteworthy. So they pick up their 2 knockout points here. They're through both their Sabrinas, yeah? They're through only 1 Sabrina is noteworthy. So we'll put Moltres up here. Is a potion. So I'm gonna put this other Moltres on my bench, and I think with the X speed we're good to go from this point, because they could tempo me with a second Sabrina. I guess Growlithe has a retreat cost of 1 as well, so I think we should be clear from here. Do you think we should win, Haley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
You see Haley on the camera?
Yeah, but Haley's head is facing that way, and my head is facing at the computer.
That is true. It looks a little bit backwards, doesn't it?
Yep.
So they know we have X speed, but they're making us have it.
Come on.
And that's your face. And we get to go ahead and clean them out here real quick. We have the X speed, so we can show them that we've got it. We've got the energy.
I'm gonna get on you.
We get to retreat. We get to put the Moltres up. And we get to go upstairs and sing, right?
And it's the bottom one.
The bottom are ours. That's our Moltres. And we're the winner.
Daddy, wait, can you lift up one?
We can show you the Arcanine.
Can you lift up the, no, not that one.
Playing against a Pikachu EX build that's got an interesting spread of other electric Pokemon. There's notably no Zapdos EX. They've got 2 Zebstrika, 2 Electabuzz, and then 1 Voltorb, 1 Electrode. No potions is noteworthy callouts from their trainers. 1 red card, 1 Sabrina, and then 2 Giovanni, 2 X-Speed. Don't mind going first if we get to lead on Egg. Fire Energy, Moltres here is not terrible. Moltres is weak to Electric, but having the first mover advantage on the energy with the Arcanine queued up here is a big deal. We also notably have 2 of our 6 basics in the opener, so their turn 1 red card, should they choose to play it, just changes out 3 for 3, which is not appealing, but doesn't mean people don't do it. A lot of folks just play that card as soon as they draw it, regardless of whether or not it is looking good or not. This match is all about getting the Arcanine EX on ASAP. I guess sometimes getting Exeggutor going quickly can run away with the game as well if we lead on Grass Energy, but Arcanine's very strong in the Pikachu matchup. In fact, the lack of Zapdoses from the opponent means that active Arcanine will get to clear anything they do in one shot. We'd really like another basic here. Bricking on the basic means that we have more than 3 cards in our hand, which makes red carding us more appealing. Not an ideal start there, but better than a full brick for sure. It's interesting how we've been, counting the soft launch, we're almost 2 months into the Pikachu EX deck being worked on, and our opponent, or sorry, not our opponent, but our opponent is experimenting, but in general, there isn't a super established, this is the one Pikachu list, which is neat. We'll see if they want to start pressuring the Growlithe, or if they want to build up the Pikachu. Yep, they're going after the Arcanine on the bench. They know that they need to get that under control before it can take over the game. I'm going to go ahead and evolve right away here. And I think I'm just not going to Dork around. I'm going to use the potion. Makes the red cards worse if my hand is small. At least 1 more heads in 3 here, so statistically likely, but not a guarantee. Coolio. 3 out of 3. We take those. Then we're pretty set up at this point. I suppose they can Zebstrika the Arcanine down to 110, and then if I switch it up, it goes down to 90, and then Pikachu threatens to clear it. I really kind of want to draw another basic so the Sabrina is less threatening. Potion is actually just the best draw in my deck, yeah? It lets me go heal this up to 130, and then I get to retreat. They're not cracking me. I kind of want to make them put the Pikachu up. I'm gonna Heat Blast. And they can put 30 more on the Arcanine, but then I clear the Zebstrika, but then I clear the Pikachu right away. There's been a lot of experimenting with the Pikachu, but the Zebstrikas really feel powerful. They give you a lot of play in a lot of spots other cards wouldn't. Really hoping to rip another bird here. We know they have a guaranteed extra basic. Was likely, but knowing that it's there is good to know. Deciding if they want to pop the Arcanine or retreat or not. It's nice. Grass Energy. Guaranteed next turn would be great if we find the Exeggutor like we did. Or the Execute, I should say. I guess I could start working towards this too, though. There's a few different lines here. I'll start working on the other one with the Arcanine already in my hand. We'll take our first knockout point here. Hitting the basics this turn means that Sabrina is no longer a huge liability. And they can't Sabrina and Giovanni in a turn, so this Arcanine being at 100 means that Pikachu can't clear it as a surprise. And they can't just put Pikachu up, because then I retreat to the Arcanine and clear it in 1. or they can and then the game is done. We have a knockout point opponent. Alright, so we're just done here then? This is a pushing buttons to concede, but not actually pressing the concede button. Player there at least. Right. Game 1 in the books. Strip grass energy. And grass energy. And we have the Exeggutor. This is a solid start for us. And, most notably, I've got 2 more basics teed up here, which means, again, we'll be able to get our hand nice and small, which makes red card unappealing. Honestly, we wouldn't even mind drawing a 3rd basic here, I don't think. Want this to be Moltres, ideally, I think. Julio. Now, we just play out the entire hand, so... They could red card us and maybe get rid of the Exeggutor, but red carding 2 into 3 is, generally speaking, not a good idea. We're pretty likely to redraw it or research into it. Exeggutor EX is genuinely the best card in the game to go first against Pikachu EX. It can crack them down in 2, and they notably have no potions in their build. Ideally, we draw the second Exeggutor with no fire energy in sight. We get our first heads. Cool. Alleviate that tension or concern. They could, like, X-Speed out and get Blitzel going, I suppose, but they already need the Zebstrika up right away. First energy's committed to this Pikachu here. There's the Zebstrika. Do they have the X-Speed? They play 2 of them. If they have the X-Speed and enough other bench Pokemon, this first heads might not matter, but they didn't play out other bench Pokemon last turn, so they might be in trouble. Here's the research. Kind of surprised they attached the energy before getting more information. Probably doesn't matter, they're likely moving to it regardless of what they get. From those Electabuzz. Notably, always goes down in 1 heads against our Exeggutor EX. And then we'll get to see where they want to start putting damage with the Zebstrika. Honestly, if we don't draw the Exeggutor EX extra, it might be right to power up this Moltres. Ooh, they're going after our Execute. Yep. We're going to go ahead and potion that friend. With the second grass on top guaranteed, I'm definitely going to put this grass on here, because if we top deck the EX next turn, we can always put the energy on and evolve it, and if they keep going after it, we can just keep putting the grass on Moltres or Arcanine. So this can attack with 2 colorless, and this can attack with 1, so the grass are not useless on them. It is noteworthy that them picking up a knockout on my non-EX Pokemon on my bench would be a big deal, though, because everything else I'm doing is EXs, so if they pick up this KO, it means that they'll only need to KO 1 more thing. 1 more of my heavy hitters. We can obviously hit them with a heads on this Exeggutor next turn, though, to keep them off of that, or we can draw our other Exeggutor EX. The Zebstrika has been interesting and unique pressure in these games, though. It's been very good. Coolio. That's a great draw, because it means that if we brick on heads here, it's not the end of the game. So, a little sad to flip tails twice in a row, but hard to be too upset with the Exeggutor on the bench ready to go. Most importantly about this is that they just don't get this knockout point now, so they're going to have to clear 2 of my EXs over the course of this game. Would not be surprised to see the Zebstrika retreat here. That's the bigger win for them, is they get to pull this out and not give up a knockout point with it. Their bench is full, though, and we've got a tanky board built here. We're going to need fire energy underneath this one, probably. But we maybe got time. For 4 grass in a row is a little low rolly. Thunder Punch does 80 if it flips heads, yeah? So there's a world where they hit 2 heads in a row and we continue flipping tails, and they could get out of this game. Yep. We draw Erica or other potion. We'll play it to be safe. Potion. Still no fire energy. Yep. You ever lose 4 50-50s in a row? Average day in my life. All right, we got that. We got that one though. We can keep breaking on fire energy if we can manage to pump out some damages with the egg. And this hit is big because it means that they don't get an extra turn to 1, get a chance to knock us out, but 2, build up energy on their Pikachus. And they notably don't have potions on their list, so they can't even just put this Pikachu up and then Giovanni to clear this, because then this one gets the guaranteed knockout. I think we might be done here. I think they needed to put the Zeb Strika up and make us just clear through another non-EX attacker is what needed to happen. Concession without the button push. Neat set from our deck side. Not perfect variance because of our 2 colors in either game, but kind of showing how both of our game plans, the Moltres into the Arcanine, as well as just Exeggutor being... This card's just like one of the best cards you can play in this matchup, I think. And Arcanine's not terrible either. Hey look, finally a fire energy. Crunch! And we're out of here. Playing against Venusaur EX this round. 4 basics with 2 Exeggutors on their front line. They notably have no red card, 1 Sabrina, 1 potion. Rowlet is not our ideal lead, but Arcanine's definitely where we want to be in terms of finisher in this matchup. They have Execute to start, which is scary. Well, them having first energy advantage here is concerning. Need to draw an X speed ideally to swap to the Moltres up and get the Arcanine powering up. Well, it's worth noting that Arcanine's Inferno Rush, even with Giovanni, does not clear EX Exeggutor in 1. $160. No Giovanni's out of the opponent, so don't have to worry about that. X speed, please. Say we're going digging for an egg. We did not find it. I think I want to put the energy on the Moltres here. And I think we end the turn. Well, if there's any reason to play any bench Pokemon out here. I suppose there's a world where they have Exeggutor and they flip heads, and then I put the other Growlithe out and I can't evolve it, and they Sabrina it up with their 1 Sabrina, but I could just play the Moltres out to play around that, I suppose. It is worth noting if they get this knockout here, it's kind of a big deal, because all my other Pokemon are EXs, and I only need 1 more knockout to win the game. Yeah, that head slip is the big leg up for them. Burst energy advantage, and us not having an X speed means we're pretty far behind here in terms of tempo. I'm gonna go ahead and put this other Moltres out here, insulate us against their Sabrina a little bit. Moltres high rolling does help us make up for some tempo loss here nicely. They are notably on the 2 Ericas, as is typical. And then they have 1 copy of Potion. Need this to be a Tails. Cool. Gives us some breathing room here. This is guaranteed to be an egg. There's a grass energy on top. That's nice. Trying to think if there's a reason to Giovanni them. 90 versus 100. So if I crack them for 90, they go down to 70. And then they're still dead to Growlithe, even through an Erica and a Potion. So no reason I can see to Giovanni here. And just tap the Heat Blast. Erica. The real question here is going to be, do they have the Venusaur on curve? No, it's not technically on curve because they just need it by next turn. They didn't hit 2 heads in a row here, so we've got a real shot. Go ahead and research. It's a nice draw. If they don't have Venusaur next turn, they are just dead. Put the Exeggutor out. I'm going to put the Arcanine out. I'll put this energy on here. I'm not going to want to attack with this Moltres again, I don't think. So I think I save the X speed for Arcanine or Exeggutor potentially. So this clears the Exeggutor EX here. And then if they don't have the Venusaur, they're just cleared. And if they do have the Venusaur, maybe we can maneuver around with this Exeggutor, but it's going to be tough. If they have Venu here, we're probably in trouble. Yep. That first heads on our Growlithe was a really big deal. So the play from here is to Fire Energy here, X speed this Arcanine back to the Exeggutor, and then the hope here is that I'm gonna go ahead and Giovanni just get my damage out early because we're gonna need to Erica and potentially research afterwards. The hope here is that I can buy enough time with this Exeggutor and these potions to get the Moltres powered up, and then the Moltres cracks for 90, and then the Arcanine gets in and finishes here. But I'm going to need to draw my other X speed in the meantime. My remaining cards in deck are... Oh, I've already threw my other research. My remaining cards in deck are Execute, X speed, and then one other card. There's their one potion. They're already through an Erica. So the line from here is we definitely Erica. And there's no Giovanni to play around. I'll put an extra energy on here, and then I need my X speed on top of my deck. So I need to hit with this so that way my Arcanine can finish with the X speed off the top. If they don't have their second Erica, we can still finish next turn with the Arcanine. We need the X speed, and we need no Erica from them. Alright, 50% chance to win the game here. X speed off the top does it. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Really close game. weakness hidden and clear out the big daddy plant dino. The only HP that matters is the last one. Going first with an Exeggutor attack, I think is actually the best thing either of us can be doing in this matchup. Although going second with Moltres is not terrible for me. We have Fire Energy to start. We have Growlithe on the open. Not exciting. Let's see what kind of friends we can fish up here. Ideally, we want to find a Moltres, and we want to find the X speed next turn. This is 50% to grab a Moltres. Swing and a hit. Yeah, the reason we need the X speed, obviously, is so that we can attack with the Moltres next turn, swapping out the Growlithe. It's one of the reasons why you'll see 2 X speed in most of these decks. Anytime you lead on your wrong starter, it lets you fix that without having a negative tempo energy attachment. I think I just have to hope they don't KO me here. I think evolving the Growlithe is kind of admitting defeat. Then I'd have to draw X speed to be able to retreat it next turn, and we could still go down to a series of heads. So if they have the Exeggutor, they'll need to flip a heads here. If they don't have the Exeggutor, we get to swap out and start charging up. Another grass on top is actually nice because it means that I can get Exeggutor going. I'm gonna evolve this actually, so that way if they Sabrina me, they can't use, if they can't Sabrina me and evolve to knock out my egg before I get it. No reason to evolve the Arcanine though. I'm not putting it up if they Sabrina me, and there's no red card in their deck. Running a little hot on the Moltres, feels good, man. The 2 heads there means if I draw X speed next turn, I can clear this Execute, which is powerful. Okay, I have the Revolution. That means we're probably not retreating, even if we top deck the Execute. I think this is just grass here. Inferno Dance. Potion doesn't do anything. We still die to a heads. Shame we don't have second Moltres on the bench. If they hit tails here, I think we retreat into our Exeggutor is the plan. They shouldn't have Ivysaur this turn, so the Pokeball they would have played last turn, I imagine, if they had it then. So they're still just missing on their next one. The downside to playing these Stage 2 decks. Them getting 2 heads in a row there is big. Lets them pick up their first knockout points. Now we're going to want to evolve the Growlithe, so that way they can't threaten the knockout on it. X speed is a day late and $1 short. I'm going to go ahead and put this energy on here, so that way we can have the option to retreat next turn. Tails there is unfortunate because it means that Erica saves their Exeggutor from my Arcanine next turn. They're pretty likely to have Erica bricking off on a lot of other things. Yep. There's no Erica, at least. Need this to be Tails pretty badly. think that means we're dead with how the rest of our board is set up here. They don't have another Sabrina is somewhat noteworthy. We'll pull this back for now. It can be used as a potential finisher down the line. Maybe I'm supposed to use one of my X speeds there actually to keep the energy on in case I draw another basic next turn. They're not going to work on their Ivysaur forever. 9 cards. Sabrina or sorry, Sabrina, Erica or Ivysaur, both very scary here. I really need to hit second. Yep, there's that. I really need to hit second Growlithe so I can start building up an Arcanine on my bench that's not partially dead. They had the Erica the whole time. Wow. Something to start building up at least, and notable that this survives a hit against Venusaur. I'm gonna go ahead and Erica the Exeggutor here because I haven't played either of my researches yet, so I want to be able to play those and not be locked out of playing this if I top deck it. This likely gives them an X speed. If they have X speed plus Venusaur, we're gonna be in a tough spot. I need to not get attacked by Venusaur this turn. I need some breathing room to get another energy on the Moltres on my bench. Yeah, the energy attached means they have the X speed. I think we're done. What's my line here? My line is I draw Growlithe. I retreat to the Moltres. I put energies on Growlithe. I attack with Arcanine. I don't think I can maneuver enough with this one. With their Exeggutors ready to go in the back is the problem. So that's the start of. That's the start of something happening here. So we go X speed retreat this so I can have an energy on it for later potentially. There's no guarantee we find that other grass. And then we switch to Moltres. And then I need to hit at least 1 coin on here, ideally 2 though. The full tails means we're just dead. If I hit at least 1, I could have X-speeded back to this Growlithe and then cracked them with Arcanine. Then maybe done something, but the full brick means there's no more maneuvering. Opponents had Egg lead every game too. They haven't had Exeggutor right on curve, but their ideal starting Pokemon has been up. What on Growlithe twice. And they lead on Egg. They could clear Execute out here. That's a Bulba lead. That's really good for us. They could still Pokeball, Research, X Speed, and get an Egg up here. Yep. It's not 100% ideal, but they could move towards it. Really want to see Bulbasaur hit the bench here. Want them to lose there 2 out of 3 to find the Egg. Nope, there's the Egg. It's not the Moltres I wanted. If we would have found a Moltres there, we could have X-speeded it out and started charging up and been a decent spot. We also don't have a grass on top of our energy zone here, so I can't start attacking with our Exeggutor next turn, even if it lives. But there's not even a guarantee that our Execute lives here. Yeah, there's that. They have the X-speed as well. They do not have the X-speed. That's great for us. And they get to greedily stay up with the Bulbasaur because they know I don't have grass on top. If this is Moltres, we could be okay. So not breaking our way. I'm gonna put this other Egg out on the bench. So that way, if they swap to the Exeggutor and Sabrina us, they can't knock out the Growlithe. Losing the Growlithe, we definitely lose the game. They top deck the X speed. You know they drew that because they would have swapped to the Exeggutor last turn otherwise to try and get the free knockout. Yeah, the Ivysaur on curve here. Yeah, unfortunately, I think we're just going to end up losing to being a 2-color deck again. And it's not even strictly 2-color. Like, if I would have hit the Moltres last turn, we would have had a real shot. We are 2 colors, and our Pokemon broke poorly for the way our colors lined up, which is going to happen. Hopefully they add some things to this game to allow the 2-color decks to be a little bit more consistent. I think they are the most fun and interesting to play, but there's no denying that they are a little bit clunky. I think if they Sabrina, I'm fine putting up the other Execute here, so I'm going to go ahead and just let this roll. No reason to show them the Arcanine is here. Could technically bail out with the double X speed next turn if we wanted. Venusaur, it's only got a second energy this turn though. Hi, toddler girl. Come see Dad.
Daddy, look! You and the partner have the same cards.
We do have the same cards, right? Those are both Exeggutor.
Oh, he has the second toy and you have a second toy?
Yep.
Can I try and see?
Erica is a very good draw here to go ahead and live with this ideally.
Now I saw it now.
We finally found a grass energy here.
Danny.
We hit heads, which means our Growlithe could potentially clear their Exeggutor through a thing. The problem here is, hold on 1 second, Haley girl, Daddy needs to talk. The only problem here is I don't have a second fire Pokemon building up on the bench, so with the Venusaur building for them, things are problematic for us. They haven't played either of their healing cards yet. I suppose if they brick Erica and Potion, they have Erica as well. Ideally, we need our Exeggutor to clear theirs, so that way our Growlithe can hit their Venusaur twice is what we're Hey, I love you a lot, but Daddy's working. Definitely potioning. I really wanted a Moltres or something to put this, Moltres or another Growlithe to put this fire on. Oh, my potion was bad if I'm taking this line. I think it's correct. The issue is that I deal 140 to the Venusaur and then it heals back up to 80. I guess I could spike heads with the Exeggutor if they don't have Potion or Erica, but there's only 6 cards in their deck, so good chance they have a Potion or an Erica here. This is why I really needed the Moltres on my bench to start building, or another Arcanine to have a second thing to attack with. Too late now. I'm just so far off of being able to attack with this. Yeah, I think the line here is just hope their Potion and Erica are buried and that we clear with an Exeggutor heads next turn. Interesting. All right, they were buried. Sometimes lucky. Weird end to that last game.